Markets have plunged as the novel coronavirus spreads around the globe. Speaking at the Foreign Correspondents Club of Thailand on March 18th, economist Burin Adunwatana painted a grim picture for both the world and the Thai economy.
We saw a huge drop in the number of tourist arrivals at our main airports. The number is down by about 3/4, but the number of Chinese tourists was down from last year by 85%.
Mr. Burin said both business sentiment and consumer confidence are tumbling, and private investment will also take a hit this year.
Investment in Thailand, I think it's going to be down because of the amount of spare capacity that we have. We are still in the shock. We're still living in the aftershock of the trade war. So I think most factories are still having spare capacity. So there's no need to upgrade their equipment. So that's going to be a drag on private investment for this year.
The most immediate threat to world business? For some assets, markets have suddenly ground to a halt, and US dollars are scarce.
Liquidity in the global market is like air. When you have plenty of it, you don't notice it. But suddenly when it's gone, you suddenly started to look for it. And then this is what's happening now. And that's why the Federal Reserve is introducing a swap line with other central banks to exchange unlimited amount of dollars to the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, and the ECB.
Central banks have responded to the stock market collapse by using monetary policy instruments. But Mr. Burin says that, unlike in past financial crises, that won't work.
You can't cut interest rate to kill the coronavirus epidemic. You can't cut interest rate, and then people would just suddenly feel healthy enough to go out, feel safe enough to go out and spend and go out drinking. That's not going to happen.
Mr. Burin thinks only drastic fiscal measures can stave off widespread bankruptcies, from airlines to small local businesses.
The fiscal policy that we have to address the problem of people are unable to leave their house and go to work, people who have shops, who have rent. How are the governments going to address this? This is a key question. You can't just pump in liquidity into the banking system. What happens if you have mortgages? What happens if you have rent, you're a shop owner? What happens if you need income to pay for your credit card, your homes? What are you going to do there? We are in unprecedented times. When life comes to a standstill, I think the government has to play its part that, okay, don't worry about your debt payment now, all will be okay, all will be taken care of. Now, I think you just have to do a blanket rescue, like what we do in Italy or France. Basically, you save everyone for 3 months. And then, if it gets longer, then, it's going to be problematic on the fiscal debt burden for governments. As you know, that most governments are heavily indebted. How long can they keep on printing money and take on the debt of the whole country? I think this is a big problem.
Yet, despite all the gloom and doom, Mr. Burin sounds an optimistic note for now.
My baseline is things should get better. I think Churchill said, there's no point being a pessimist. I think we have to be optimistic. I think once we get to summer, the containment will be achieved, at least in Europe. And let's hope we can find a vaccine before then, or we can find some sort of a measure to not let it get out of hand again, because winter is coming again at the end of the year. So we have about 6 months to find some sort of solution.